Good evening. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network presents the DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for Monday, May 7th, 2018. Camera people, Devin Harrison and Daniel Faulkner. Video engineer, producer, and sound engineer, Edward. Teleprompter and prompter, Myra. News anchor, Nicholas. Meteorologist, Hannah. And this is the news director. I don't know who I am today. And now the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on air by becoming a sponsor. To buy a sponsorship, you can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. The following stories from the Journal. Moments after a military cargo plane crashed into a Georgia highway, rail motorists began dialing 911 to report the large aircraft plunged nose first into the blacktop before erupting into flames and thick smoke. Just fell out of the sky and it's on fire right now, said one woman. Called emergency operators as soon as the plane went down at about 11:27 a.m. Wednesday. Savannah police released 911 recordings from the crash Monday, 5 days after a C-130 Hercules cargo plane plummeted down onto Georgia Highway 21. It crashed shortly after taking off from Savannah Airport. 9 airmen from the Puerto Rico Air National Guard perished, but no one else was injured on the ground. One 911 caller reported something seemed to be wrong with one of the plane's 4 engines. I saw it take off from the airport and noticed that one of the propellers wasn't turning. The woman told a 911 operator, and he banked like he was going toward Interstate 95. And then all of a sudden he lost altitude and just took a nosedive into the ground. The military is investigating. So far, investigators have released no preliminary findings to suggest what caused the crash. An Air Force spokesman, Major Andrew Reed, declined to comment Monday on any details from the 911 calls, citing the active investigation. Other witnesses gave similar eyewitness accounts. It's just literally nosedived into the road, said one 911 caller. He did a barrel, went straight into the ground, said another. Woman who described black smoke billowing out from the crash tried to get close to look so she could give emergency dispatchers a better idea of exactly where the plane hit. Coming up on it, the woman says, "It's right off the railroad track. Oh my God, it's on Highway 21. It's across both lanes of the road. Is it on fire or anything like that?" The operator asks. "Yes, baby, it's black smoke," caller replies. Plane like incinerated whenever it hit the concrete. Only 12 sections of the plane remained intact following the crash. Authorities said the impact scattered debris over an area roughly 600 feet, 183 meters in diameter. "I've got flames and smoke everywhere and stuff coming out of the sky," one man told 911 operators. The aging plane had long been a part of the Puerto Rico's Air National Guard fleet and had rescued and resupplied U.S. citizens after last year's hurricanes, crashing what was supposed to be its final flight. The plane was being flown into retirement in Arizona when it took off from Savannah Hilton Head International Airport last week. Major Paul Dillon of the Puerto Rico Air National Guard said the aircraft had been manufactured in the 1970s, making it roughly 40 years old. This story is from the Journal. Hawaii Kilauea volcano eruption. Lava flows, toxic gas shows no signs of slowing down. The massive Kilauea volcano continues to erupt, sending lava into the residential neighborhoods and toxic gas into the air. The Big Island, home to nearly 200,000, has also been rocked by earthquakes, including its most powerful earthquake in more than 40 years. I was just informed that the gas is hydrogen sulfide and it is deadly within seconds of it entering your system or even breathing it. The toxic gas in the Big Island, home to nearly 200,000, has been rocked by earthquakes, including its most powerful earthquake in more than 40 years. Police have surrounded the community where eruption is occurring, not just because of the lava, but also the deadly fumes. The spewing lava and toxic gases are showing no signs of slowing down. Powerful 6.9 earthquake struck the Big Island on Friday, largest in 43 years. The U.S. Geological Survey on Saturday, the 477 earthquakes were reported over a 24-hour period, ending at noon on May 5th. Since then, several news eruption cracks have opened up in the residential community of Leona Estates. Each are hundreds of yards long, splashing lava into the air and flooding the streets. 2 houses have burned, thousands have evacuated. The smoke was really getting thick, and you can really smell it in the air, said Herschel Hood. He tried to convince his neighbor to leave with him. He just refuses to go, Hood said. I've been to him twice today, and he won't leave. Resort owner refused to leave. He died. This part of the Big Island has seen some major lava flows before. In 1955, lava flowed all the way to the ocean. Kilauea is the youngest and most active volcano on the Big Island, just a few miles from the current lava flow at a community meeting. Authorities tried to explain unpredictability of the volcanic cracks. All of a sudden, one volcanic crack opened up, a stream coming out of the red lava. That's how fast it was happening, said Talmage Mango, administrator for Hawaii County Civil Defense. She said at least 6 active fissures have opened up so far. You know, we're starting to see a pattern, a kind of line, Mango said. He said it could continue happening and they don't know for how long. You know, that's the sad part about it. It could be happening for a long time, or mysteriously it couldn't just end, Mango said. There's definitely still a lot of volcanic activity. We felt several earthquakes Friday night, and the water has become an issue. Authorities are telling people to restrict usage as lava approaches one of the major water mains in this area. This story is from the Journal. Off in northern Arizona highway surrounded by a pastel-colored desert is one of the starkest examples of drought's grip on the American Southwest. Dozens of dead horses surrounded by cracked earth, swirling dust, and a ribbon of water that couldn't quench their thirst. Flesh is exposed and in various stages of decomposition. The carcasses form a circle around a dry wiring hole, sunken in the landscape. It's clear this isn't the first time the animals have struggled. Skeletal remains are scattered on the fringes in an adjacent ravine. It's a symptom of burgeoning wild horse populations and the scarcity of water on the western edges of the Navajo Nation, following a dry winter and dismissal spring runoff. Conditions aren't forecasted to improve anytime soon. Tribal officials suspect other animals have died with not enough to eat or drink. One of the things we can do is picture the worst case scenario when we get out there, said Harlan Cleveland of the tribe's Department of Emergency Management. Did smell the decomposition and the body's starting to smell the carcasses. But I didn't realize until I looked down from the berm and saw the horses down there. Here drought doesn't manifest in having to shut down swimming pools or let lawns go dry. This rural community does not have its own potable water sources. Those who have running water in their homes get it from a well, piped from over 30 miles away. Most haul water carrying large plastic tanks in the beds of their pickup trucks. Groundwater is brackish and recommended for livestock only, but the 2 storage tanks closest to the watering hole no longer function. Homes were accustomed to finding relief at the stock pond, where the horses died, but locals say the pool of water beneath the decade-old earthen dam has dried up more quickly each year. Families have been downsizing their herds because they can't rely on the vegetation and watering holes. Some have hauled water and left it in troughs for animals. Charlie Smith Jr. climbed a small berm overlooking the watering hole 3 weeks ago in search of cattle. At the time, he counted 29 dead horses and a cow that wasn't his stranded at the edge. Looking up at him, it was very emotional, he said. Staying beside his truck loaded with hay, kept calling my sister saying, "This is bad, it just hits you. You tear up, you know you don't have the capability to save them." Trail officials counted 118 dead horses and 2 cows this week. Tally doesn't account for any carcasses that might have been pushed deeper into the mud by other struggling animals, or for skeletal remains. Now for dumb laws. In Washington, they're asking the Bigfoot Sasquatch or undiscovered subspecies is felony punishable by a fine or imprisonment. It's illegal to attach a vending machine to a utility pole without prior consent from the utility company. No person may walk about in public if he or she has the common cold. Destroying a beer cask or bottle of another is illegal. X-rays may not be used to fit shoes. All lollipops are banned. A law to reduce crime states it is mandatory for motorists with criminal intentions to stop at the speed limits and telephone chief of police as he is entering the town. It's legal to paint polka dots on the American flag. All motor vehicles must be preceded by a man carrying a red flag, daytime, or red lantern, nighttime, 50 feet in front of the said vehicle. Now here's our weather report with Hannah.
Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in beautiful downtown Dove Creek. The current temperature is 80 degrees. Today's high was 82 degrees, 52 degrees. The bubble meter is at 29.82 inches and is steady. The humidity is at 9%. The wind has been between 1 and 9 miles per hour from the northwest. Gusts have been up to 23 miles per hour. There was 0.00 of an inch measured today by the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 62 of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 2.60 of an inch. Now for the big map. Most of the Pacific coast, the west, and the center of the country is clear and sunny. There is some rain stats on eastern Washington and ends in Minnesota and Iowa. There is rain from and thunderstorms for Virginia into West Virginia that run south and end in Georgia. There. Tuesday, sunny, high 80, low 49. Wednesday, partly sunny, high 83, low 50. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 82, low 51. Friday, thunderstorms, high 77, low 44. Saturday, most thunderstorms, high 63, low 37. Now for a climate change report. CO2, carbon dioxide, is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. This result is significant swings worldwide of moisture and hot and cold temperatures. But the general climate trend is the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 409.71. 2 weeks ago, 411.68. Last year, 409.02. 10 years ago, 387.2. 50 years ago, 325.57. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanz, the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth website for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' news show on air by buying a sponsorship. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to our news director.
And that's the end of today's DCTV 4-H Evening News program. This is the news director, who will remain nameless, saying good night and thank you for watching.